The presidential nominee Joe Biden campaigned in Michigan after he and his wife Jill also tested negative.
Sending my prayers for the health and safety of the First Lady and President of the United States. This is not a matter of politics. It's a bracing reminder to all of us that we have to take this virus seriously.
Two Biden campaign officials confirmed to CBS News they are in the process of pulling down negative ads aimed at President Trump for an undetermined amount of time.
The White House physician says the rest of the first family, including the president's 14-year-old son Barron, have all tested negative so far. Former President Barack Obama extended his best wishes to President Trump and First Lady during a virtual fundraiser this evening. We'll have more on the impact the president testing positive could have on the election in just a minute. But first, let's head on over to Dave for a look at the weather. Dave, today's high temperatures didn't go up too high.
No, they weren't very impressive at all. Didn't get out of the 30s up around the Iron Ranges. So let's take a look at that map, and it'll show that Orr only had a high temp of 39, Ely 37, Silver Bay 39. Hibbing, part of the Mesabi, did crack 40 though, just by the skin of its teeth. 42 at the airport here in Duluth and 43 for Hayward. So all in all, everybody was cooler than normal, and a similar range of high temps is coming tomorrow after a morning start down into the 20s. And as far as precipitation goes, small trough of lower pressures coming our way. It will be bringing a slight chance for showers on Saturday, and because the temperatures will be cooler than normal, there's a slight chance for flurries mixed in as well. Here's our weekend forecast, which says tonight will probably drop down towards 30 or so for a lot of towns. Then there's that 30% shower chance Saturday. Come Sunday, it clears up. It starts to warm up as well. We'll get towards 50, which is still cooler than normal, but we just might beat that come Monday. I'll give you the details coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. President Trump's positive COVID-19 test significantly alters the future of the campaign, which, believe it or not, is only a month away, leaving many wondering what the rest of the road to the election will look like. CBS 3's Emma Quinn spoke with local political experts.
President Donald Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis will certainly alter the way he campaigns in the last month for the election on November 3rd.
I suspect we've seen the last of those big rallies.
On Friday, the Trump campaign moved most events to a virtual platform and postponing some.
He is the candidate that very much gains energy and feeds off, these larger rallies that he has. And so that's kind of where he creates momentum with his base.
Twin Ports political experts say with the diagnosis coming 2 days after a Make America Great Again rally in Duluth, it could impact undecided voters.
COVID is something that has directly impacted your family and, or that, has affected, your loved ones. This may have more of an effect on your vote choice.
Other experts say it likely won't be much of an advantage for Democratic nominee Joe Biden.
I mean, if you look at the trend lines since going back, February or March, it's not been like you've seen in previous election years where you'll see both the candidates going up and down. It's been pretty set, which kind of indicates that people are kind of locked in a little bit.
Should the president's COVID condition take a turn for the worse, the 25th Amendment would be instituted.
The secession, the duties of the presidency would be given to Mike Pence. And so he wouldn't be necessarily the president. He would be serving as the president in this time until the president is able to take over his duties.
Adding Trump does not have the ability to postpone the election as Congress sets the date.
Political experts say the president's diagnosis could have an impact on smaller elections if those candidates were exposed to him. We're also learning all previously announced campaign events involving the president or his family's participation are in the process of being moved to virtual events or are being temporarily postponed. Vice President Mike Pence will continue holding rallies. If you or someone you know attended President Donald Trump's rally on Wednesday, the Minnesota Department of Health is advising you to get tested for COVID-19 since there's a chance the virus spread at the rally and other events associated with the president's visit. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez spoke with county officials about what other steps you should take.
The Minnesota Department of Health is advising those who attended President Donald Trump's rally in Duluth to get tested for COVID-19. Mayo Clinic infectious disease expert Pritish Tosh agrees.
People should be as concerned as they would be in any other circumstance when someone is diagnosed with COVID who is in an enclosed area.
St. Louis County Public Health Division Director Amy Westbrook says community transmission of coronavirus was high in St. Louis County prior to Wednesday's rally.
We have been seeing our community transmission increase, especially through the month of September.
In September alone, St. Louis County had more than 800 cases of COVID-19 reported. Though Westbrook says the risk of anyone on stage Wednesday transmitting the virus to the general crowd is pretty low, the same cannot be said about the group of supporters below.
Large gathering in and itself is problematic just because if there's lack of social distancing or if people weren't wearing masks, that can increase the risk of transmission.
Duluth's fire chief estimates 3,000 people attended the rally Wednesday. Our reporters say most were not wearing masks. Westbrook says if you were at the event, it's best to get tested.
If there are people who are not wearing masks, should be getting tested. If they don't have symptoms.
When asked if President Donald Trump throwing hats at the start of the rally could transfer COVID-19, Westbrook says it's not likely.
Yeah, that would be considered low risk.
The best thing to do right now is to isolate, says Westbrook.
Keep your distance from others, social interactions, that sort of thing, until that 14-day period passes.
If you would like to get tested, there are a couple of locations you can go to. You can head to our website for those details. While